positions and what exactly their laning phase is going to look like. No information being given away just yet, though, because Digital Chaos have gone for a smoke of their own, trying to get their positioning set up for what could be an attempt at a first blood.
Right now, EHOME about to clash as they run into Misery.
Misery on the Naga Siren is going to be hit. Oh, not actually going to be hit by that Torrent. Looks like that Wind Lace gave them that slight movement speed advantage to be able to stay ahead of that one. And despite Digital Chaos running into EHOME, nothing is really going to come of it. So it's looking like we are going to be having Saksa is going to be playing the Elder Titan. We have Resolution playing the Vengeful Spirit in this game. Misery on the Naga Siren. Moo is going to be left at what looks to be a safe lane farming Timbersaw. And DC is going to run all out on the aggro tri lane. Blitz, what's with this switch up? The early Naga Siren pickup, it is a bit of a strategical advantage, right? To be able to say, we've got this Naga Siren. You think it's a core, then we switch it up, we pick it up as a support. But why specifically Resolution with the Vengeful Spirit? What is DC going for?
I think they just want to push pace. They want to carry a hero that can match up well in terms of right clicks with the anti-mage early on. And Vengeful Spirit does just that. It also allows you the option of going for the aggro tri-lane, which is what they're doing right now. If you put a lot into that Naga Siren, she gets directly countered by that anti-mage like we discussed, and that's possibly the worst position that you want to be in when your cores just lose 1-to-1. And so I think DC have made the very smart decision to swap. The downside though is they are going to have an ET Naga Siren lane, which double melee you don't ever want to see is they're going to run into Misery right here.
Bottom and Fenrir. This is a duo with the Disruption and Torrent that guarantees some damage on one hero, but it may not be able to deal with a full aggro tri-lane. We'll have to see how this unfolds and whether or not DC are able to keep up the pressure on Ice. Our mid lane is going to be Weehaw the Invoker facing up against Old Chicken's Razor, and top lane Old 11 on the Sand King against Moo's Timbersaw.
Yeah, and I think in this lane, the Sand King will do okay. They should both be able to trade farm. It really just depends on how far Moo decides to try to push things. He did get the double regen, whereas Old 11 decided to go for a little bit less regen, but invested in that Quelling Blade early on to help him CS. Obviously one of the better pickups in conjunction with his Caustic Finale, and we're already seeing him pick off to a pretty decent lead at this top lane in terms of harassment.
Yeah, this first 1 or 2 minutes is so important for the Sand King versus Timbersaw matchup. It's all about that Caustic Finale for the Sand King, and if he can burn through that regen that Moo is stacked up before we see the later levels where Reactive Armor acts as a natural regeneration for the Timbersaw, keeping him healthy.
Right now, just continue to push the lane up, as in this bottom lane, this is going to be the lane to watch. If DC can do okay here, that could just determine the game for them, but EHOME just constantly trying to pull the lane back. Very big for them to be able to do so, as they're going to deny quite a decent amount of XP, and you already see
Torrent not going to land once again. Misery, as a result, will snag that bounty ring away from Lanham. So the aggro tri-lane going okay. It's not stopping Animage's CS just yet, and it is coming at a very distinct cost to some of the other DC heroes. Weehaw as the Invoker, our panel mentioned it, the Razor is going to be able to do a lot of harassment against that Invoker, really press into him with that static link, and we're seeing how the Sand King is faring pretty well for now against the Timbersaw, though the tides may turn as we get to level 5 and 6 and the Chakram comes up to the Timbersaw.
And the early rotational power of the Sand King might beat out the Timbersaw by a little bit, but when it comes to farm, you should be able to catch up quite nicely, especially once you grab your Bloodstone into the Boots of Travel. And meanwhile, Old Chicken continuing to just zone out this Invoker, which is what we expected out of this lane.
Ooh, that bottom. Stun, Ice, gonna be disrupted as the snare was attempted by Misery. Power of that defensive hero. We're seeing so much of this Shadow Demon in this tournament, and there's not really much of a question why. A lot of illusion-based heroes being run around, and you can always use some sort of support to be able to save an important core like that.
The good news for DC is they do have a really easy way to deal with the illusions in this Timbersaw. He's going to clear them up quite nicely. There's going to be a point though where when it comes to the high ground siege, if you kill anybody, it's going to be quite easy for EHOME to take bites. And for DC side, they could go for a decent Roshan timing just because they have this Exort Invoker. But at the same time, I think EHOME would really like to fight around the pit, as up the top, Moo trying to get aggressive, and it looks like now he's starting to be successful.
Yeah, once he hit that level 4 and now level 5, he's got the high levels of reactive armor, and he's able to just sit with the creep wave on him, and all the caustic finale hits in the world won't allow Old 11 to really push back Moo, or maybe I spoke too soon. Moo's actually dropping decently low, and maybe Sand King with a level 6 could do something. Bottom lane, Torrent goes down, but the invis is picked up first. Bottom going to be pursued out here. They're going to get some decent damage. They will try and follow this up with a Sunstrike. It's going to be close. The body blocking is down on top of that. Mercury on the other side. They sandwich Bottom for the first blood.
Very well done by DC. The two supports always beating EHOME to the punch when it comes to the rune twice now.
Now bottom lane, Old 11 is getting a close battle. Old 11 forced into a Fairy Fire use, and Moo, he's dropping quite low as well. He's got the high levels of reactive armor, so he will start regenning up, and now the healing sound will keep him alive. Back to the lane game for almost both of them. A lot of damage
getting quite low.
Oh, he's going to be hit by the Torrent as well. Needs the Timber Chain away, gets a little bit of distance. The constant finale will finish him off. EHOME. They finished with an appropriate response, losing their Kunkka, but the Kunkka's rotation up the top gives them the counter kill.
Absolutely massive. Being able to get any sort of kill in a solo lane 1v1 matchup is going to be huge. And this should allow Old 11 to start to snowball in this lane. At the same time, Timbersaw does have what he needs in the arcane boots, and he's just going to make his way back up here. Mid lane, Invoker still only sitting at 9 CS. They were really hoping to give him this kill. If he was able to get first blood and some XP, he would have been okay, but Old Chicken just pulling him out of the lane.
Is under attack.
He is currently suffering heavy, which means Digital Chaos need to be able to buy some space for him. They're going to come in with a few minutes more rotation. There is the top of the follow-up. Sunstrike should be easy. The damage not quite enough. The right click will finish him off. 1-2 then.
Very well done by DC. They understand the weakness of the Razor is he is susceptible to these ganks. This hero heavily relies on being able to get that early start off, just because he doesn't have the ability to flash farm or split push like some of these other heroes.
Moo chases away the Sand King in top lane. Didn't get his Chakram in time, though, to be able to finish off Old 11, just chasing back to the tier 1 tower.
Gold
And Ice at bottom just continues to plug away with this farm, and he's doing just fine. Resolution, though, leading the game.
It's going to be tough. He's got high level reactive armor. He's going to try to get the kill. Now the heavy amount of damage coming out from Old Chicken, but the armor is too much. Even if he steals all this damage, Moo thinks he can fight it out. He's got to truck him. We'll be able to slow down Old Chicken a little bit further. Sansa is coming in. He gets stomped. Old Chicken, sitting duck.
So well done by DC there. As Moo baited that out for so long, he didn't fear the Razor whatsoever. Buys enough time for Soxa to make that rotation up there. And meanwhile, at bottom, Resolution has largely been left alone in this lane, and he's picked up the levels in the farm required of him.
He certainly is. He's top of the CS board, and he's keeping the Animage, well, not entirely out of CS, but manageable. It's 26 and 5. Ice is about to pick up its level 6, though, and we may see an engagement as that opportunity presents itself. And maybe the other way around. The it's going to stun. Oh, not enough mana there.
Radiant's
Looks like a bit of miscommunication or
is
miscalculation coming out from Digital Chaos. If they had that ensnare with the Sunstrike, it surely would have been a kill.
Still, the fact that they were able to leave Resolution alone at bottom, normally when that ends up happening, the carry just kind of has to go into hiding. He has to stop CSing and wait for his push to back. But he is playing so aggressively onto this anti-mage, and he's still picking up a good amount of farm while his team is accomplishing a bunch of kills around the map. And DC, as a result, are effectively doing very well in all 3 lanes. Now this Invoker is caught up as a result of that game. They are in a much better position than they were when we first
Resolution going to be hit by the Torrent. The squishy Vengeful Spirit carry will end up going down. The stomp is there. Gives Misery the space to retreat, but they've lost their carry.
Bound to happen at some point, and people finally strike back. They get the kill on the right target. Ice picking up the last hit, and things kind of reset in this bottom lane at the same time on the top. This Timbersaw is just staying there.
The last strike, it's close. The stomp is there. A little bit more damage from Riptide. But Ice gets away. The sliver.
That's perfectly fine. They're still putting a lot of pressure on him, and they're going to send him back, allow Resolution to get some space, and I think this will prompt both the supports to move out of this lane and get aggressive.
That inventory will be set up now for it. It'll be off mark. EHOME. License forfeit. Yet another gank coming in from EHOME.
This map is just going everywhere. The 2 supports on either
Dire's
side
middle tower is
able
under
to
attack.
create space around the map. On the top, who just continues to farm.
Radiant's bottom tower
That's
is
one
under
of the big
attack.
advantages, right? Is that DC,
Radiant
they're able
structures
to,
are
with just their
fortified.
core at bottom lane with resolution. Actually, they're going to stomp here. Ice, unable to get the blink away. Not much they can do to stop him from blinking away, though, if he chooses to. No follow-up disables
Dire's
there.
middle tower
But if it's
is
just
under attack.
Resolution, the Vengeful Spirit, matched up against the AAM, and it's just Timbersaw facing up against the SK, there's a natural amount of aggression.
Gonna go for Ice.
Put out another Ensnare,
They
another
might
stomp.
just have enough damage for this if they time it.
Radiant's
He tried
bottom
to time it with the
tower is
right
under
click, and then the
attack.
Riptide immediately following up, trying to get his maximum amount of damage there. Not enough to finish him off. Again, Ice, surviving with just 50 HP.
I believe they could have killed him.
Radiant's
The sleep
bottom
duration on the
tower
level
has
3 stomp is
fallen.
quite long, but he got a little bit antsy there. Negative Saksa to also get the hit off.
Ooh, disruption. Stop it, the Timber Chain out there. Saksa is here, though. The Burrow Strike completely whizzed there.
Old 11's getting quite low. He's got to be careful. So without the disruption available, this Timbersaw is going to feel very strong.
3 to 4, 10 minutes in. Saksa, careful where you walk, my friend. There is an Observer Ward. Watching his movements, if he steps a little bit too far to the south there, he'll be caught by the combo of Lonham and Fenrir.
Meanwhile, at bottom, Resolution, look how far
Radiant's
pushed in he
middle
is.
tower is
Ice,
under
not lucky in this game so far, as the Vengeful Spirit just able to trade so efficiently with him, and he's even gonna blink forward for creeps, and they're pinging it hard. They know he's used his blink.
They're going to be able to catch him. It looks like it's a Sunstrike. They should be able to finish him off. The TP's come in. They're looking to be able to punish Resolution, but it's only Lonham who's completed his TP. Up at top lane, the fight rears on. Now, Moo hopes to be able to catch Old 11, but slowed down by the Purge, won't be able to catch up.
And not really willing to contest that. At bottom,
Wow,
they managed to set up
still
for
managed to
another
get the
kill.
Kuka. Old Chicken comes in, will be able to catch Resolution at bare minimum. He tries to chase out Misery, but Misery is too quick with the Naga Siren, won't be able to catch up.
Still, during this time, Weez almost got his fully completed Midas. And DC are doing such a good job at controlling this bottom lane. And Ice, we talked about how important he was going to be. If he was going to be against the Naga Siren core to core, I would have felt much more comfortable if you're an EHOME fan. But in this type of game, Resolution's just applied
Radiant's
so much
middle
pressure.
tower is
He's getting a
under
lot
attack.
more farm out of this. And the anti-mage, his game has been slowed down by so much.
As we kind of alluded to, the core matchups there on the side lanes, favorable for Digital Chaos, and as a result, both the AM as well as the Sand King only sitting at a 3K net worth mark, while the rest of Digital Chaos's cores are all sitting at 4K.
Yeah, Ice, even missing some last hits here. He doesn't have that Quelling Blade yet. And his game is very much slowed down, and DC have very good ways to deal with him in the mid game with this Timbersaw when it comes to damage. And he's already almost got his Bloodstone. Looking at half the components as he's going to push in this wave. Fenrir just going to pick up levels up at top. And EHOME trying to go for a 4-man play at bottom, but Resolution's just going to wait by his tower.
Yeah, he has that wave of terror when the creep waves come in. He can always pull the creep wave off the tower back into the tier 2. Now, they did just get a scan. Successful on Resolution, so they know there's a hero there. They know there's an opportunity to be able to die. But Resolution is just playing this so damn safe. And now, oh, look at this tricky maneuver. Oh, 11, he just found his way in, burrows through the trees.
He's slowly doing it. One more tree. They don't realize how close they are.
Another Quelling Blade might just see him. The Vengeful Spirit backs out at just the
Dire's
perfect time.
bottom
Shows
tower
himself
is
now
under
with a wave of terror. Tier 1 tower
Dire's
will
bottom
fall.
tower
EHOME
has
take it.
fallen.
Still, that was a 4-hero commitment with all the cores available on the map, waiting for that tower push. During that time period, everyone just continues to farm. Weehop playing the game where he's just being patient right now. He's letting the game develop. He's not trying to make anything happen with his team. He understands with this Midas, he's going to passively get ahead with this Razor.
Oh, the
Much more
11
pressure.
setting up on Resolution. He got his way into the trees, in range with the Burrow Strike. Resolution not dead yet, but will fall
Dire's
underneath the
bottom
tier
tower is
2.
under
Moves
attack.
here now, chases down. Old 11 misses the Chakram though. He needed that one to last. Falls and into the trees, will be able to get it.
And Old 11, he did have that burrow available, but goes for the churn rate. And Moo gonna pick up that kill. A lot of
Dire's
experience
top
on his side
tower
is
is under attack.
now he's level 11. Just 400 gold away from that Bloodstone. His timing is gonna be very good. And DC, there's always that threat of this Invoker constantly farming. This Razor had to show himself bottom so frequently. Now he's gonna go contest the lane as Ice. They're making a
move
move.
here. He needs to blink in the right direction, and it's not down back for Misery. And so blinks a little bit farther to the left. Ice heads his way into the trees, and he's ready to go with another blink. So DC, do not pursue. We'll
Dire's
just
top
try and
tower
control the
is
Radiant
under
jungle,
attack.
denying Ice any farm.
Still, they have largely done such a good job at this bottom lane of continuing to control him up. Now Resolution going to go to this top lane, try to treat himself like a true core. As this Razor is getting pretty farmed right now. Has that Ogre Club available, DC? It looks like they want to avoid these 5-on-5 fights despite being a little bit ahead. Probably for the best, as EHOME's team fight is so scary.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is really the best way, right? They have this one core that is rather farmed. That's the best way to utilize this Razor. Just go for those 5-on-5s. Gonna find Misery with the disruption. Not close enough on Lanham though to be able to hit the torrent, and I believe that's another smoke that won't find a latch.
Yeah, the biggest thing about this Razor, whenever you play against him, you don't want to be in the same lane
Dire's
as him. So
middle
you
tower
constantly will
is
shift
under
and
attack.
adjust. So wherever the Razor goes, he can start to bully out a core. And that's exactly what he's doing when he shows up mid. But Weehawk continues to farm. He's got very good timing. And up at top.
Gotta be ensnared up. Defensive torrent laid out just to make sure that his Rokan can pressure forward. They are going to have Moo making his way mid, but I don't think they can really do anything to this Razor. So eventually, when EHOME start going for this 5-man, what do DC need to do to respond? Do they go for a split push game with their Exort Invoker and their Timbersaw?
It's actually DC that want to push the pace for the time being, just because the Sand King has shown that he still doesn't have Blink, and now they're creating a lot of time for the Sand King mage to catch up. It's actually DC that are pressuring him. He will have a decent game once again. He's already catching up quite quickly to Resolution's amount of net worth.
Yeah, he's neck and neck now. After being a full 1,000 gold behind Resolution, he is now sitting at that 5K marker right next to Rezo, who just has himself some treads and a Helma Dominator. Something
Right. This is what you want out of your Timbersaw. You want him to just bully the Timbersaw out as much as you possibly can. And that's going to open up some opportunities though for EHOME until this Timbersaw gets Boots of Travel.
Sand King, ooh, smoke up from DC. But our Sand King, old 11, he does have his Blink Dagger now. And this could definitely swing the team fight favor into the advantage of EHOME. Try and set up at the top lane. Misery is already low at 600 HP. If he starts the epicenter and is still in range for the Blink of Burrow Strike, he's just released. Blink, Burrow Strike, and a torrent. No opportunity for a Song of Siren while they take out the Animage at bottom lane. A very clear advantage being won by DC, taking out the carry of EHOME in exchange for losing their support. They're also going to lose their tower, but it looks like Weehawk has found himself a Shatter Demon kill as well. Fenrir goes down, and just like that, EHOME, they're pressuring the tier 1. DC say, you can have it, we'll take Roshan instead.
Normally, this is the type of trade that's worth it if EHOME would have pushed to this tier 2 as well, but they are nowhere near getting that tower. And DC, they are very happy to trade this, especially after killing 2 of the heroes on EHOME's side. Slowing down the anti-mage's farm, this means that there's no split push going on. There's almost never going to be a better opportunity to get out this. We talked about how it's going to be a and DC with a very decent Roshan timing, 17 minutes in. That enables the Invoker to grab Boots of Travel, and they're just going to pressure all around the map now.
Yeah, they most certainly are not going to be surprised by that Blink Dagger, the Sand King, either, now that that's been revealed. So DC feeling in good control of this game with the Aegison and a Bloodstone picked up by the Timbersaw. These next few minutes of aggression are so important for DC to be able to start establishing a grip on the game, start pulling up those Bloodstone charges, start winning these team fights. Lana gonna lead the way here with the classic maxed out Tidebringer that he's introduced into the TI meta off of Kunkka. Not gonna be enough to push away from Chaos though. Tier 1 tower is still taken at the mid lane. Oh, epicenter going down. Resolution going to be dropped here. He actually has so much HP now as he's got the levels. Weehawk comes in with the Boots of Travel, but now he's overextended himself. He's going to be first up. Coming in with the reinforcements. Will be able to catch Fenrir. The hold snap holding him in place. Disruption 2.5 seconds of reprieve, but he'll still fall.
Radiant's
And
bottom
very big
tower
for
is
DC
under
is
attack.
they don't lose the Aegis or Resolution. The Sand King ultimate epicenter was expended for this. And DC are just going to push. This is very natural for them. There's no split push going on in this top side, which is what Ice really wants to do, to try to get DC to go back. You notice that it looked like he wanted to make his way up there, but instead they go for this mid pressure. But DC should be able to be greedy here and defend both this mid tower and take that tier 2 at bottom.
Oh, Chicken is going to be pursued out here. Swap back. Resolution. That's a level 2 swap already. And 18 minutes in, catching old Chicken off guard. Will be able to take him down.
DC are just looking incredible right now.
Playing this battle-based game. The Aegis does go down, but they managed to get a lot of in exchange. Now Weehaw fights it out with old 11. Will be Burrow struck up, and Fenrir is here as well with the knockdown. It looks like Weehaw is not going to be able to make it out of here. Top lane, jeez, it just doesn't stop. Moo almost found Ice as well.
And Ice, not even close to that Battle Fury, and he's not finding space around this map. As DC are just playing really well. They're utilizing their map pressure with their Boots of Travel Invoker. They're getting aggressive all across the map. Their supports are where they need to be right now. This Resolution Vengeful Spirit has done so much work.
Yeah, it certainly has. You saw the way they initiated on him in the bottom lane. This is no longer your level 5 Vengeful Spirit, kind of susceptible to nukes. This is a level 11 Vengeful Spirit with Power Treads, possibly Strength most of the time, Helmet Dominator, a Dragon Lance, as well as a Ring of Aquila. He's got incredible amount of stats now that he's been able to get some of that farm. You can't really focus him down anymore. It's going to cost you too many of your abilities, too much of a commitment. Where then Digital Chaos will turn the tide with Weehaw and Moo.
I cannot believe that DC right now is in such a good position. If you just look at the net worth of all 3 cores, they lead the game by a hefty margin, and EHOME gonna go for a smoke. They feel it right now. EHOME, they're reading this game. They're saying, we are behind. Our lineup is meant to fight. This Razor will not scale nearly as well as this Invoker. And they're gonna feel pressure to make moves, but
pull back here from Moo at the right time with the Blink Dagger, and will actually head back into the Radiant jungle at the right time too, it seems. EHOME have moved away with their smoke, and it's now going to start fading away. Fenrir, his already popped a jump forward by Moo. He actually jumped ahead of that Burrow strike, perfectly timed. Moo happens in. He goes for the kill and dodges a gank by Old 11. Now we actually find Old 11 himself, be able to hit him with the chopper. And DC, they can go for this tier 2. They still have a great position. Without EHOME having all 5 members, I can't imagine they're going to be able to stop this push.
yeah, and you notice Ice up at top, trying to pressure. This is what you want out of the anti-mage in this game.
Radiant's middle tower is under
DC
attack.
just gonna grab this tier 2 3. They don't really find the angle to set up the Sand King.
Tier 2 sacrificed. It's giving Ice a bit of space here for the Battle Fury finish, but it's still going to be a very long road for EHOME to make the recovery.
And this Invoker still gonna get a very decent timing right now, and EHOME, they feel the need to try to defend, but unable to do so. They're trying to set up kills with their Sand King and allow their anti-mage to try to split push and get farmed. Because Ice can still have a very good game, as long as 1 or 2 fights swing correctly for his team. But they need to play him so much time right now. He is so far behind.
He's going to find the perfect mana void for them to be in a fight.
Radiant's top tower
Timbersaw is going to have
fallen.
to drop low on mana, or Invoker will. They're going to have to hit an incredible mana
Radiant's
void.
top tower is under attack.
Now, if it's going to be
Dire's
caught,
middle
disruption,
tower is under
there is
attack.
no saying whatsoever. EHOME.
Oh, I might just passively walk away.
All right, he's going to be pursued out. Moo once again, 1 step ahead of that Burrow strike. He is going to be X-marks his spot, so right outside the base. Doesn't look like EHOME can do anything about it. In fact, Moo, he says, if you can't do anything about it, I'll bring the fire.
So far in right now.
Right next to the tier 3, it's hit by Torn. Bounced up at half HP. The Sun Strike right in his head. Nails him just like that. Over 11 drops. And Digital Chaos, they smell the blood in the water. They're going for the tier 3s already.
22 minutes in, they are looking so good right now. Ice trying to make whatever he can happen at this bottom lane, but Old 11 waiting for the epicenter. This is the only thing that's going to be able to save EHOME in this fight right now, and might just actually not again.
50 seconds, the boat comes through, hits Resolution in the back, but Digital Chaos seemingly can't be stopped. The old Chicken's on the front line, he's still trying to be careful, but he's immediately going to be taken down. It's all the disruption Chaos feeling themselves
Radiant's
right
top
now.
barracks
Have
has
taken a
fallen.
later rank.
they're
They're
trying to hit
down,
mid.
and they immediately go for the tier 3 mid. They say we can
Dire's
end this
bottom
right
tower
here.
is under
Ice
attack.
has to think about coming back right
Radiant's
now.
middle tower is
They
under
don't have their
attack.
Sand King available for another 20 seconds. He still has Epicenter, but they are going to be repelled
Radiant's
as
top
they don't
barracks
have
are
this
under
creep wave
attack.
behind them anymore.
Dire's
All right,
bottom
Digital
tower is under
Chaos.
attack.
They give us one hell of an early aggressive push, reading the game perfectly, but they are finally going to back out. Moo is going to run into Ice here, gets a little damage on him. Sunstrike, not going to reveal the position of Ice, who TPs himself away in the trees.
Still, this is a very early Rax to be taken against an anti-mage team, and EHOME, they had to commit the buyback to the Sand King, effectively ruining his game. The Naga Siren even leapfrogging him in net worth.
Look at that. Boots of Travel going to be coming in for the Timber Saw move. He's also going to pick up a Hood and almost picks up Old 11's life as well. Still has the opportunity to do so. Old 11 has to juke out the Whirling Death, blinks himself away.
He still has the blink available, though.
He could still pursue out, but he realizes that might be a little bit too far. His team is not around for miles.
But they can still take this slowly, especially since they grabbed this melee Rax up at top. This range one won't regenerate either. If DC win one team fight, that's going to mean an immediate 2 sets of Rax in favor of them. And for EHOME lineup, I don't think they can recover against that.
I mean, look how many fresh items just got picked up by Digital Chaos. If you couldn't repel them last time, how are you going to do it this time? With Guardian Greaves, a Hood on Moo with Boots of Travel, who got Resolution with a fresh BKB, and Weehaw, which I can presume is going to be a BKB as well.
Yeah, and I think they're waiting for the next Roshan, potentially, as up at top, Ice continuing to just farm.
Zoxa, his Elder Titan 109 right now. He's even got a 4-stack just to be able to get that extra bit of kiting. And EHOME trying to pursue him out.
Right now, DC looking very good right now. Sharp on the map, and trying to find whatever farm they can. They have to prep for this next fight as at bottom, Old 11 getting real low.
The pullback of the chakra.
Oh, stormy!
The Sand King falls once again to the bloodthirsty Moo.
Who has gone absolutely off in this game. 7-1 and 6. His Timber Saw leading the way for DC. Multiple pickoffs for him right now, and DC, they feel their strength. They're gathering up for this mid push, and EHOME can't afford to lose this one. Ice might even think about coming back early for this.
We heard him in the winter interview just this morning. Moo, he didn't play so hot in that game number 1, and he had that moment of reflection. He said to himself, why am I playing bad if I could just play good instead? Now he's going to push forward. Sonic in defense here. Will be able to hit the chakra. Almost finish him off with combo. Now he's got retreat though. The rest of DC await his response. They will get over the line with the Tipper Chain. And the rest of DC calmly waiting outside the base move. Just pulling out random blinks at this point.
Dire's top tower
Still shows
is
you
under
how
attack.
unkillable he is, though. He's able to just immediately walk into 4 different heroes, and it's EHOME that are getting repelled inside their own base. Not the position that you want to be in, and at bottom, Ice. Maybe they're thinking of forcing a blink on him, but not going to be able to catch up.
Ice will be able to get to the side shop here. Does not have a TP scroll, so if Moo finds him, Ice may still end up falling, but no one else is there to pick up the Animage instead. They're at the mid lane. Resolution, he's here, gets the wave onto Old 11. EHOME not turning around though.
Almost 20k gold lead for DC. One more fight could just tip them over the edge. What we saw earlier today, even that isn't going to be the defining factor, as you eventually are going to have to take a team fight against EHOME. And their Sand King still does have a decent amount of farm, and we haven't seen a big epicenter out of them quite yet.
They're hunting for Ice. One of these times, he's going to push out like that, and they're going to be able to nail him. Guess where he's blinking to, and Move will catch up to him. But in the meantime, Digital Chaos will have an opportunity for Roshan here. It doesn't look like EHOME, they're not gonna try and contest here. They're just gonna go for the split push. Gonna try and take that tier 2 of the top lane and give themselves a little bit of gold in their pocket.
DC, this is what they were waiting for. They have this dire side.
Roshan has fallen to the dire.
Gonna make their next push even
Dire
stronger.
structures are falling.
Tier 2 not even dead just yet. The torrent will immediately land on Zoxa. Provides the defense, keeping the tier 2 alive. Moo jumping forward. Okay, that's a missed chakram, but Lana, either way, it looks like it wouldn't have mattered. He immediately TP'd out. No one there with the disable.
Yeah, DC They really want to be in a position where they just push out all these lanes and they can go straight down one of them, but EHOME trying to split up the map as much as they possibly can. DC, they don't want to spend time pushing out lanes. And it looks like with this next set of items coming in, they're just going to want to go for it.
Which is why Old 11 doing what he's doing. He didn't TP away at all. He had the TP scroll available. Instead, he just hid himself in the trees in this top lane. And as soon as he feels comfortable that Digital Chaos have actually moved to another side of the map, he's going to keep up the pressure in this top lane, hoping he can force DC back. Now, Lana needs to be careful with that X. There's highly mobile heroes on DC who can still catch up to him, even after the X pulls him back, but not able to snag him up this time. And they hit up Resolution on BKB, gonna be first up. The physical damage is rapidly overwhelming Resolution. They hit the swap away. Played forward by Ice. Elder Titan Hill doesn't land, but Ice, they may still be able to catch him. Shot goes down. They got him. The pure damage through the enemies is held.
DC, they're just gonna march down this bottom lane now without this anti-mage available. He does not have buyback, and they're gonna all in on this Sand King with this epicenter, but EHOME, they are not looking very good right now as DC just starting to march down bottom.
Blinking dagger up for Lana.
Oh, this is terrible. They needed the Sand King in position, but instead he gets caught out, and this is gonna slow down the defense.
They are not going to be able to get the follow-up initiation on the Weehaw like they hoped. Weehaw is still engaged though. They need some sort of backline initiation, but I'm not even sure who they go for. Look at all these heroes, they're so tanky. Misery's got Guardian Greed, Soxta in the back at 1200 HP as well. Frontliners, you can pretty much forget about blue. 1900, they're going to go for me now. Looks like they're hoping to be able to just pop that Aegis for free without using any big-time ultimates, but me gets away once again.
DC pushing in this bottom wave. Exposed Drax with Ice. Trying to just dodge this fight. EHOME trying to stall up as much as they possibly can, as they don't have the best angle for Old 11 to channel his epicenter. Bottom. He can't afford to give this up.
Oh, the sun goes down. Old chicken pops BKB just in time, but now a quick retreat from Digital Chaos. And that is now a BKB wasted. DC will wait it out and re-enter as the BKB falls.
They want to continue going for this. This should be a lot of racks going down for them. There it goes, EHOME. Here we go.
Burrow Strike, Resolution stunned up for a time, but Old 11 next on just the same storm. One is to be inside the tree. Disrupted, laid out, and to take away. Will be able to get away from that one, but now Ice, he tries to rebuttal, can't finish much of the mana void. It was a good one, it did a good amount of damage, but nobody from DC falls. And they're all in about half HP, cancel that. Already up to 3/4 as the Guardian Grease goes off, and a full lane of Rax is down.
That top lane of Rax is also pushed down. DC going for the throw right now. They understand, 3 dead. A very quick win by DC, and incredibly well played. And this is not the EHOME we saw yesterday, or maybe DC are just that good.
DC! What is happening to this team? They just keep on getting better and better.
Misery just half smile right there. Knows this job isn't completely over yet, but what a performance.
He's got to feel real good about that one. They just brought EHOME to their knees, and you could see EHOME, a lot of emotion going on in the booth right now. They've got to be questioning what exactly went wrong for them in that game number 1. Was it the draft? Did they not play